officially, are we going to have sight laps for the rest of the top 16?
I will confirm that. I don't think so, but it's probably possible.
Yeah, most likely not. Looking over here at Pat. All right, here we go. So coming down to the start chicane, here comes Chelsea Denofa, that Penzo RTR Spec 5 FD initiating into that first outside zone. There goes Chelsea Denofa, getting all the way out to the course, actually knocking over that outside zone indicator. And there goes Daniel Stuckey into the wall. And here goes Chelsea Denofa as Stuckey gets lost. He hits the wall. The frustration sets in for Daniel Stuckey. Chelsea Denofa into that last and final outside zone. He's flirting with that wall. And I got to assume that's all she wrote with an incomplete there for Daniel Stuckey. Goes into the wall. And that's kind of a little bit of insult to injury there, unfortunately, for Daniel Stuckey. Hopefully we'll get a quick verdict here and get Stuckey off course, Ryan.
Well, I mean, of course that had to happen, right? I mean, we would like to see a clean second half of this battle. Stuckey looks like the front end was washing out coming into that section of the outside zone. And as we take a look here from the sky, as we're butting up here to going live on MAV TV, you can see right there as Denofa's transitioning, trying to get back on throttle. Stuckey front end pulls out a drift and goes right into the wall.
And there it is. Chelsea Denofa gets the win. Chelsea Denofa gets the win, advancing on to the top 16. So the outcome that we saw earlier, that's how it's going to stay. Guess what? When we clean it up here, we will be coming back with our top 16.
Conditions is important.
Here we go with our first battle of the Royal Purple Top 16. We got the Field Suspension GT Radial S chassis. That's Bakchis out front. Ken Gushi in the chase position in that red 86. Here we go. Looks like Bakchis filling that the second outside zone. Look at the smoke being kicked off. So again, looks like we got a dry course, my friends. Knocking over that inside clip and now into that final outside zone. Filling all that zone. You could see denoted the zones there, Ryan. We want to elaborate for those fans coming in. Where are the zones? Where's the inside clip? What are they trying to accomplish? Line angle style.
Well, let's take a look at this lead run here from Bakchis. You saw a pretty good rate to angle on the initiation. Was about 3/4 in that first outside zone. Pretty consistent here. Ken slowly starting to reel him in, trying to gain that proximity. Overall solid performance here from Bakchis and Ken Gushi, but we have not seen Odie explode in the way that he has in previous seasons just yet. And perhaps this might be the round that he can have a breakout event and go on and get a podium. He's got to get through Ken Gushi first, who now has the lead.
All right, so again, they alternate orders here. Odie led on the first run. Now Ken Gushi leads. Alternating positions. You want to fill those 3 outside zones. On initiation, you want to go quick rate to angle. You're going to have some decel areas. Naturally, when you transition into the outside zones, there's that one singular clip. You need to drift past on by at angle. Here we go. Ken Gushi initiates in that first outside zone. Gets all the way to that course edge. Well done there by the Monty's 3 Racing Toyota GR86. Odie backs off a little bit, but now he lunges forward. Again, showing a little bit of dominance there. He doesn't get all the way out in that second outside zone. Now he's going to transition into that front clip. Narrowly going by it, not glancing it at all. In that last outside zone goes Ken Gushi and Bakchis. They power through the finish line, and that right there is our second run from Bakchis and Gushi.
That was really a needle-threading lead run from Ken Gushi, especially on the last 2 zones, having those wheels right at the edge. Take a look at this. That's a pretty quick rate to angle all the way to the edge of the zone. Odie trying to manage his way through the smoke cloud. I think one of the most important aspects of this course is being able to manage the grip levels of your car against the competitor that you are going up against, in whether it's the 816 or whatever. If you surge too far forward, lose angle, have to back off, that's going to be treated differently than being door-to-door with the driver and be able to make those tiny manipulations that keep you at the same angle, same line as your competitor. Ken is giving a really good lead run for Bakchis to chase. The question will be, did Odie take advantage of it in such a way that showed dominance relative to Ken's chase?
You know, you talked about Odie exploding, right? And it seems that Odie has these these kind of peaks and valleys in seasons. Remember, like it was like he'd go out and win, and then boom, explode an engine, come back and win, and like so peaks and valleys. Maybe his tempered approach is the approach that's going to get in the championship this year. You know, coming into this round of competition, Bakchis currently sitting 8th in points. You know, maybe just kind of slow and steady. And like I always say, you know, Chris Forsberg, you know, never won an event but won a championship. Here we go, one more time. Here we are. So either driver A or driver B. Do you agree with that? Kazuya Taguchi will lead run 1 of this Royal Purple Top 16 battle. Kazuya Taguchi, Simon Olsen. Kazuya taking out Deane Carnage Carney. A little bit of a little tumultuous one earlier. Here we go, Kazuya initiating into that first outside zone. Simon Olsen dropping into formation. Now Kazuya into that second outside zone, the up garage ISR performance. Jerry Yang produced vehicle, and Simon Olsen, look at that. Man, he is, again, for never driving an S chassis until this year, the 4th round, he's making it look really easy. But again, a great lead run by Kazuya Taguchi. It bears repeating. You can only have a good chase run if you got a good lead run, and Kazuya put the car in the right places.
Well, it's pretty clear that the stewardship of Bakchis with that car with Olsen has certainly turned the tables for him in the positive. Taguchi, on the other hand, has been building this amazing profile in drifting for many, many years, and he's had so many instances. I mean, look at that transition back around. He didn't fully get deep back at the beginning of that outside zone, but he has just consistently been better and better over time, and it manifested itself last year in St. Louis, but we're seeing more consistency from him more regularly.
All right, taking a look here. Let's alternate the order. Simon Olsen, Kazuya Taguchi. Simon Olsen leading. Taguchi giving chase, waiting. And there we go. So you can see the lights both on the wall and right in between the drivers. Once they extinguish, they're allowed to leave the line. The chase car can actually leave the line prior to the lead car, but the lead car needs to wait till they extinguish. Simon Olsen, big nasty angle. That first outside zone, hits it and quits it. And Kazuya Taguchi, you can see him nosing in. Simon Olsen, big massive angle. That second outside zone, that allows Kazuya Taguchi. I mean, these guys are looking almost identical in their lead and in their chase. And this is going to be a hard one. I mean, here we are splitting hairs, Ryan. You know, we had that one more time between Gushi and Odie, and here we are, Olsen and Taguchi. And I think this is the shape of things to come, man. You know, look at that. See a little fist bump there for Simon Olsen, and look at that, all hands on deck in the Forsberg Racing camp.
The points of difference on this track are going to be very important, so to speak, because once, as we said in the open, proximity is going to be around the majority of the time. You know, the drivers are driving at a slower speed, and really it becomes about managing your line and your angle as a chase driver. Olsen right there gives a great lead run to Taguchi. Taguchi gave a great lead run to Olsen. And now what the judges are going to have to do is dissect little small nuances to see if that swings their favor in one driver over the other. And in this case, you can see there's a lot of similarities between that last battle. Both of them had a little bit small mistakes, could have been a little bit deeper in the zone, maybe could have had a duration of proximity a little bit longer, but overall, if this is what we're going to be getting for the top 16, imagine what it's going to be like in the Grade 8 and Final 4. It's a great showing here by both competitors.
Yeah, that's why I said just, you know, I think the driver's going to have to beat themselves in order for the other driver to advance on. You know, everybody's just going to be pushing it to the limit as we look at our BC Racing Go for Gold side-by-side. BC Racing, the official suspension of Formula Drift.
Yeah, you can see here Taguchi on the left in the lead, on the chase in the right. If you're a judge at home, what are you looking at? Where are the points of difference? Is there anything for your standard of a one more time or driver A or driver B that makes you get the intuition to go one direction or the other? Very close battle here.
All right, you see, again, Japan versus Norway. And now Chris Forsberg's team, again, there's Jimmy, there's Jason, they're working on the car. Truth be told, I think these one more times might be helping Chris Forsberg here. Taguchi and Olsen, oh, we're seeing it. Oh, Simon Olsen. Simon Olsen gets the
time frame.
I'd
like to get that out of my memory.
It happened. It's in the past. It's in the past. Show me on the doll where they hurt you, Ryan. Yeah. Ryan's got PTSD from FDIRW. So, all right, here we go. The Beast from the Bay, Matt Field going against Dominican's finest, Jonathan Castro. Here we go. Whoa, big entry there from Matt Field. He does exceed the course track edge. That looks like it threw off Jonathan Castro. Could that be too big of a blow for Castro to come back? Again, we're going to have to assess on how aggressive. Look at that. Looks like a little rubber that's on the side there from that Borla exhaust Corvette. All right, let's take a look.
That was a really insane and aggressive initiation from Matt Field, and props to Castro for staying right up alongside of him. It may be the case that he has a mechanical, and Field does drop a tire. I don't think that it's an overly aggressive drop. It was the left rear went off course. He did go, definitely would be a deduction on line in qualifying. But here we see Castro coming out of drift altogether, and so whatever may have been analyzed from Field on the initiation, after the contact, you can see that he basically stops drifting. Now, we'll have to get an assessment from the judges. I can already see the replay machine going on over there. Interestingly enough, the behind the scenes for us is that we have a replay machine for the judges where they can isolate any of the cameras that we have that are shooting footage and content, and they can go back and analyze what they're looking for specifically, time coded to any part of the battle. And so that's what they're doing right now. I can see over their shoulder, they're looking at the initiation, they're taking a look at Castro, they're trying to look at the severity of what took place there between both drivers and whether or not there's something that can give them clarity on how to make that judgment.
Seeing a lot of tire debris there, dropped a camera there on initiation. How we doing out there, Jersey? Make some noise, stomp your feet, make some noise. Let me hear you stomp your feet. Let's go. All right, opening the door. It's again, we've just seen, 95% humidity. You saw that track condition report. Just coming out of the hotel, it was definitely muggy. The wind now kicking up, so that's going to help cool things down. But the elements definitely showing up today. And we are sending cars. No sight lap here. This is a run one here in our Royal Purple Top 16. Odi Bakchis will lead. Ken Gushi giving chase. Odi Bakchis in the white and orange field suspension. This S chassis, Ken Gushi in the GR86 Toyota. Now in that first outside zone, you see Odi Bakchis transition into that second outside zone, the big 180 degree, filling all that. So see it denoted by the track edge and that white line on the inside. Past that inside clip, Odi Bakchis very tight to it into that third outside zone, getting all of the course. Gushi, not too shabby in that chase position. A little bit of distance back, but still trying to catch up.
Well, I think one of the things that we learned from the first run is that Gushi had the superior lead, but Odi was really kind of the dominant driver in the chase more consistently. So what can each driver do to make those adjustments? This time around, we see Ken trying to push the pace in the chase position. Right there, that's an excellent job. Leading up to that point, he was on a tightly shallower line to try to gain proximity. He's doing the same thing here in outside zone 3. Odi, on the other hand, did improve on his lead run. He was much deeper in the zones. He was committed to entering the zone at the beginning and leaving at the exit of the zone. And that's going to go a long way to put pressure on Ken Gushi to have an equal run to him in the lead position. Meanwhile, we all know how much of a killer that Odi Bakchis can be in the chase.
Yeah, he has just, created one heck of a, status of how good he is in the chase. He really, he'll grind his wheel on the door. He's created quite a personality here as, there we go, Ken Gushi. Oh, wow, throwing some sparks there. Looks like Odi Bakchis is getting just right. Oh, and looks like Ken Gushi shuts her down. So, yeah, we saw some sparks being thrown. And in that lead position, didn't look like we saw Odi making contact. Looks independent. And Ken Gushi, unfortunately, and Lorette was talking to him earlier, and they were talking about the car being a kind of a ticking time bomb, and how long is this engine going to last? So, and here we are taking a look. at the clock for Jonathan Castro, the other Toyota GR86 in competition.
Yeah, if you followed the story for Ken Gushi since he's in the position that he is now running his own team, you know that there's been times where a 67-cent part has taken him out for the weekend. There's been times where mechanical issues have taken him out for the weekend. Is this another example of that? Let's take a look here. Odie surging to the backfield, maybe even rubbed, and then right here you can see Gushi just unwinds it, and that looks to be something wrong with the car, not as a result to any damage that may have been sustained. The right rear was tapped, but it looks like Ken felt that he could no longer move forward, whether it was a power issue or something else going on with the car. That at least seems to be the first intuition that I have, is that there was something wrong with Ken's car, not necessarily as a result of getting hit. You can see that the right rear is turning and it's doing the whole stuff and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, oh, he is saying sorry? Interesting.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like, you know, I was over here, I was playing baseball. I don't know, I don't play baseball. No, it's like the bad lip reading. What'd you do here? So they're all
he's like, so I won, right?
Yeah.
Everything, that's cool, but I won, right?
Yeah, Odie Bakchis, there it is, gets the win. So again, great sportsmanship there. Ken Gushi saying sorry. He'll make his way to the burnout box, but right now it is Castro and Field. Castro in that LTH Mobile 1 Toyota GR86. Quick little yank of the handbrake into the outside zone. Well, it looks like he's 100% right now. Here comes Matt Field into formation. Now keep in mind, Castro got a little bit of a deficit there. We're seeing that Lean Customs on the roof. Shout out to the boys of Lean into that final outside zone. There goes Castro and Field. And again, with Castro shutting it down in the first run, he had a big uphill climb. Put down a good lead run, but just not enough.
And just a tremendous secondary performance there from Castro. I mean, take a look at the line that he's drawing in outside zone 1. Entering at the right time, leaving at the right time. He's mid-deep in outside zone 2. Pretty stable all the way around. I mean, this is a great job from him to try to force an error on Matt Field in some way, shape, or form. But Field is not really messing around. He is playing a pretty aggressive game here, not taking a risk that is too much to overcome or puts himself in a bad position, but not letting Castro get away from him to a point to where, you know, he's potentially risking an inactive chase or anything like that. So this is props to both competitors there for giving 100%.
All right, let's make it official there. We could see the Heat Wave sticker on the tail light. Shout out to Justin and the Heat Wave gang. Lucas Oil running through the veins. Forged Star wheels on the corner, wrapped in the GT radial tires. Slide him left for Field or right for Dominican's finest, Jonathan Castro. Field gets the win.
D-cell light.
Chris Forsberg initiating that first outside zone. Rome Charpentier giving chase. Looks like Chris Forsberg drops a little bit of a tire. Not too much though. Good angle there. Oh, he's really getting off course. But Rome Charpentier not bothered at all. Into that first inside clip, the one and only Rome Charpentier kind of making some corrections. Now Forsberg into that last outside zone and crossing the finish line. I want to see the overhead view of this one. That got interesting, Ryan.
Well, Rome certainly had the most storied event of last year, didn't he, here at New Jersey, where he really gained, I think, a lot of respect for the way that he approached everything. And he's trying to back that up here, going up against three-time champion Chris Forsberg. A lot of pressure there leaving outside zone 2. A little bit of separation and now trying to collapse here. Gets into that zone about midway through to keep the pressure on. And now we will mix things up as Chris Forsberg will go to the chase and Rome Charpentier will take the lead.
RCP, as we lovingly call him, Rome Charpentier. Some people say Charpentier, some people say Charpentier, some people say Carpenter. Let me just simplify it, RCP. What are you laughing at, Jacob? I'm joking, nobody's gonna say Carpenter. I mean, there's an H in it, but I'm just having some fun here. And Rome has a good time too with it. The Garagistic BMW E36 giving moderns hell. He is leading Chris the Force Forsberg, again, three-time champion. Love to win here at his home track. Rome Charpentier, Garagistic BMW E36 initiating that first outside zone, throwing it in, both of them. Here goes Rome in that second outside zone. Rome filling all of it. Chris Forsberg, look at him lunging forward, that VR-powered all-new Z. Past that inside clip, how is he gonna handle? Going to that last outside zone. Man, the proximity of Chris Forsberg right there. Tough one to call, Ryan. Rome Charpentier and Chris Forsberg.
Well, you know, Chris
Thumbs up for both of them. Look at
certainly very consistent in the chase throughout the entirety of the course, and I think that's what the judges will take a look at, is when you look at the duration of proximity and the degree of proximity, and also matching that up by comparing the leads, do we have an advantage for one driver over the other? Forsberg here, the one mistake he did make was not getting into the second outside zone at the same time as Rome, and Rome was able to take advantage of that by clearing the zone completely. And right here, Forsberg does a much better job. He's still at a slightly less angle, and so that's what we have on the table for the judges to take into consideration, and to see if we have enough for somebody to move forward. And as the lights go down, the conditions on the track will change even further. More adjustments will need to be made, and like it was last year, I'm sure it'll get more crazy.
Yeah, you see a little fist pump there from RCP, maybe selling it. And again, you saw them pull up, give each other a thumbs up. Sportsmanship thing to do. Who's going against Matt Field? Here's the BC Racing side-by-side, the official suspension of Formula Drift.
So what I'm going to be looking at here in particular is just looking at the proximity of both chase drivers, because the leads had some similarities. Forsberg did drop that right rear, and we did see Rome have a couple little adjustments, like not getting as deep as he could at the beginning of outside zone 3. So do we see some major differences in proximity from the chase runs? Not just the actual proximity itself, the duration, but also was there a mimicking effect, which was something that was spoken about at length in the drivers' meeting this morning, is that the judges really want to see that mimicking effect taking place. And look at that.
And there we go. We got Rome Charpentier, and Rome
Wow.
Charpentier gets the win. Rome, roll, the Rockstar pilot, initiating in that first outside zone, that hot hatchback. So again, another driver exceeding that track line. Brandon Sorensen, the United States Air Force, BMW. Ryan Tuerck using all the course. Brandon Sorensen backing off a little bit here. Now Ryan Tuerck into that last outside zone. So Ryan Tuerck going off course, ripping up that back bumper.
Well, we got through the run last year where Sorensen was in the chase, and we saw that big accident. You can see Ryan Tuerck out front exceeding that line just a little bit. Great job getting into outside zone 2. Sorensen trying to close the gap here, but staying pretty consistent at about a car length and a half. Transitioning back around is Ryan Tuerck. Gets in nice and early, goes about midline all the way through, and just on the inside there is Brandon Sorensen.
Looked like Tuerck did a really good job filling that last outside zone. Sorensen not getting as deep. So we'll see if Brandon can tighten it up with the clean air. He's going to be out front. All right, let's take a look. The second portion of this battle here in the Royal Purple Top 16. Brandon Sorensen will lead. Ryan Tuerck will give chase. And this is the Royal Purple Top 16. Brandon Sorensen leaving through the start chicane. We got a clean start. You can see the indicators of the momentum. And here goes Sorensen. Tuerck drops into formation. Let's see how they transition to outside zone 2. You can see Sorensen fills that second outside zone. Ryan Tuerck applying the pressure. He's right there. So talk about proximity, Ryan. Oh boy, almost gets into the door. That could disrupt Brandon and Tuerck. And then in that final outside zone, that was a really good performance, making me nervous. Again, the contact here, for whatever reason, it just really disrupts the car. You know, with it being so flat, I don't know, is it the angle? Like, why is contact onto each other just so volatile here on this course compared to others, I feel like?
I think anytime you get hit, there's volatility. It just depends on the degree. So, I mean, there may be something else that adds to this, but I mean, this is a much more low speed kind of contact course, right? Like, you can see at the most there's 65 miles per hour on initiation, 40s as they're going through the figure 8. And as we take a look at Tuerck here on the chase, right when we got on top of him with this drone, you can actually see how precise the driving was right there. I mean, that is amazing. And to not make contact, to your point. And so Brandon here in his lead run, pretty good, solid overall. Put those two together. Do we have a winner?
Slide him left for Tuerck or right for Brandon Sorensen. Looks like Ryan Tuerck gets the win, and it is unanimous. Ryan Tuerck with his son.
What otherwise would be tense situations. I mean, last year here with Rome was an incredibly tense situation. What bigger and other intense situation than going up against James Deane, the three-time champion, who is starting to really turn it up in that Mustang.
He said he's an 8 out of 10. That's what he told Lorette earlier. So when he's 10 out of 10, everybody look out. James Deane, the AutoZone Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD. I know Vaughn's cheering him on from home. And here goes James Deane. Big initiation there in that first outside zone. Travis Reeder getting bathed in the tire smoke in that second outside zone. Here comes that Nicholas BMW. Look at the proximity. Great job by Travis Reeder. Looks like he almost had contact. Comes out of angle just a little bit into that final outside zone. Nasty initiation by Travis Reeder and James Deane. The commitment and the trust fall, as I like to call it. You know, trust fall, you cross your arms, fall into somebody's arms. I feel like Travis Reeder did a trust initiation and transition into that third outside zone.
Well, you gotta love the trust, as you say, in James Deane to make sure that he's gonna finish the run in a predictable way. Right here, Reeder starts really pouring the pressure on. Great lead run by James Deane overall. Perfect on that inside clip, good transition around. And then an opening of that pocket on that last outside zone for Reeder to dive in, take advantage of it, and really make an impact on that last section of the course for the judges.
The luck of the Irish. We'll see. It brings them kissing the Blarney Stone. Maybe see if he's going to be kissing the carbon fiber trophy. Three-time FD champ. 2017, 18, and 19. James Deane. Travis Reeder, winner here last year, so we know he could get it done. As you said, tense situation last year against RCP, and he delivered. Travis Reeder, the Nicholas BMW, will lead. James Deane in tow. Again, that three-time champion. This, as a leader, you don't look in your rearview mirror. You know that shark, James Deane, the machine, is right behind you. Sparks being thrown. Oh, and look at that. James Deane exceeds the course as Travis Reeder, little weeble wobble into that initiation. You saw him kind of working the wheel, gets into the dirt. Both these guys going back and forth. James Deane closing the door. You see it with Travis Reeder going a little bit off course, and now one final outside zone. Travis Reeder hits the wall, gets into the dirt, gets thrown off. Holy cow, make some noise, New Jersey.
It's almost like when a driver performs at such a level and you feel like all you need to do is X, Y, and Z, that something happens to shift your intuition back the other direction. Now let's take a look at this. Sparks flying. You see Deane exceeding that outside zone 1. Here comes Reeder. A little bit of wavering, and he goes deep into outside zone 2. Drops that tire, but really where it's going to get real interesting is right here. Door-to-door action. Great back off by Deane, and then pow, right there, Reeder hits the wall, goes off course. Definitely disrupts the vehicle and the attitude, and for sure the judges now have to take all of that into account. It looked like from the start, if Reeder could maintain what he did from initiation and be consistent, that the mistakes that James was making on outside zone 1 would be enough to give him the win, but now we've got more things to consider.
So digesting, as you say, Ryan, the judges, all of that. What an exciting battle. What do you guys say, New Jersey? Make some noise for Travis Reeder and James Deane. Slide him left for Deane, right for Reeder. James Deane gets the victory. James Deane gets the win. It was unanimous. Dylan Hughes will lead. He qualified 3rd. Joao Barion qualifying 14th. So again, one battle left after this. We got Denofa and LZ coming up next.
So many family battles today.
Yeah.
It's great.
You know, the house divided.
I know.
The Targaryens versus the, no, I'm just kidding. The Lannisters versus the, right? Yeah. The Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. There's gonna be some upset feelings, you know.
More bragging rights at this point.
That's a good point,
you know, versus Odie and Olsen, you would have to assume that Odie's gonna get the victory, but if Olsen took him down, that would be a huge flex.
Yeah, oh, 100%. Like to come in the equipment that, you know, you built for somebody and then beat them in, man.
What if he has a detonation button?
Maybe, yeah.
No.
Like halfway through the run, he says, oh, he shut down. I don't know what happened, Simon. No, you wouldn't do that.
All right, here we go. Back to the action. We are seeing, again, Dylan Hughes, the dozer, Joao Barion. Here comes Dylan Hughes under the bridge where he drew some blood and he drew some GT radial tires. Into that first outside zone, Joao Barion. A lot of these drivers exceeding that line on the outside zone 1. Now going to outside zone 2. There goes Dylan Hughes filling all of it. Here comes Joao Barion. Good proximity. You see him kind of coming out of it. Minus about 10 degrees compared to Dylan Hughes in that final outside zone. Getting all the way to the outside line. You see Joao Barion, the red light's coming on. So that forward momentum kind of being abruptly stopped. And now we are going to switch it up. Walk us through, Jacob. What'd you see?
Yeah, so Dylan out front did a great job of Joao, as you said, coming in a little bit wide. Really difficult to grab that grip there, it seems like. Starts to bring in that proximity. You can see him wavering back and forth, worming it just to try and get back up to Dylan. Dylan doing an amazing job in that lead, really slingshotting around and capturing it. And then Joao, just same thing, just dipping it, almost like his battle with Jonathan Hurst there.
All right, so Joao Barion could tighten it up, but getting that clean air, which we did see from him earlier, a lot more confidence in his corner. And what's interesting, too, if you're just joining us, not seeing earlier 32, Joao Barion had his bye run. He shut it down. I don't know if he had a technical issue or if he just shut it down by design to kind of salvage the car.
Yeah, not sure. I mean, it could go one way or the other. I believe in the rule book, all it says you just have to get across the line. So it could have been, you know, save some tires, save some wear and tear.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens here. Zhao's really come into his own over the last couple of years. Like, the progress from basically being a stock Corvette to where he's at now is actually really incredible and really inspiring. And I know everybody back at home is probably cheering real loud at this point.
Absolutely, and we got, you know, a couple Brazilian drivers. You know, we got Diego Higa. He's definitely put on a show. We saw him earlier. Unfortunately, got knocked out by Odi Bakchis, who is continuing on to the Grade 8. And as they always say, you never want to lose, but if you're going to lose to the guy who's going to win the whole dang thing.
Exactly. Yeah, if you're going to go out, you want it to be to the guy that's cranking away, that's on the podium at the end of the night.
Oh, want to go out. Oh, I thought you said oot.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, yeah. If you want to go out.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Big Hughes, you know.
Big Hughes. What do you mean Hughes? Hughes?
Yeah,
okay.
Who are you talking about?
Who's Hughes?
Yeah, I try not to, you know, I haven't said a boot, any of that stuff yet.
But you just did.
I did.
Oot and a boot and who's boot?
Yeah.
How we doing? Everybody, we got a packed stands here, and I'll tell you what, I think more people are going to come too, because it's been hot today, so people kind of hiding from the sun. And again, don't forget to place your bets. You can bet on Formula Drift. Sign up and place your bets now. Go and scan that code. Just go ahead. I'll let you. Okay, hold on. So you're gonna hit that, and that's the camera. That's a light there. I'm gonna see if I can do it. And boom, just as simple as that. Takes you to the website, nxtbets.com. Place your bets. Get up to $1,111. $11 in Fred bets. So got some fun things going on there. So check that out. Here we go. Alternating the order. Here's Joao Barion. Again, that Monster Energy Corvette. Dylan Hughes, the dozer. That Permatex. Rain-X Royal Purple BMW into that first outside zone. Looks like Dylan Hughes, he gets into the smoke, does not exceed that outside course line, and there he is with the proximity. Needs to throw some more angle at it. He does have the proximity. Oh, almost seeing contact there, that four-star wheel. Dylan Hughes maybe tempering it back, and oh boy, loses the camera, almost goes into the wall. I think he got blinded by the smoke. That could have been way worse. The angle of which he was going at that wall in the last outside zone, it looked like he really could have. Let's check out that back left. I don't think he hit it. Maybe he just got into the dirt a little bit. That was crazy.
Traded some paint, that's it. I mean, as we said earlier, the plot thickens, right? So, yeah, I mean, Dylan, obviously, he was trying to hold back a little bit. He was fighting that angle, but now we see in the replay here, he did get gapped a little bit by Zhao, which is crazy. But Dylan, you can see working his way in, sacrificing a bit of angle, kind of hunting for that door. And you got to watch the timing here because he's in tight just before the transition, backs off, slingshots back around, realizes he's getting gapped. Oh, yeah. And there it is. Did he straighten?
Yeah, he did have a correction, so definitely unfortunate.
Yeah, watching the replay here again, you can see how much that gap is. Obviously going through Dylan's head, like, hey, gotta catch up. Starts to sacrificing a bit of that angle. Not a lot of angle coming through that second outside zone. Zhao gets ready through that clipping point, into the transition. Dylan tries to slingshot across. Same thing, a little bit behind, taps that wall, and I didn't see any counter lock on it, so I think he should be safe, but it's hard to say.
Man, this event, I'm getting messages, finding out what's going on here. I mean, just as you said, the plot thickens. You look, here's a can, you open it up. Oh my gosh, worms. It's just worms everywhere. We got a lot of things going on, man. So Joao Barion, he pops his lid off. Looks like Joao's taking a look at maybe the replay here.
He's checking that chat, seeing all those Brazilian flags flying up.
Exactly.
That's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, there are a lot of Brazilian drift fans. All right, here we go. Slide him left for Hughes or right for Joao Barion. Looks like Joao gets one. And look at this upset. Joao Barion gets the upset. And I have to assume that wall hit, disrupting him, correcting, straightening out. Is that deemed an incomplete? So that the judges are defaulting that, not defaulting that. Deane in the 4, pending on advancement. Who moves on right now? Adam LZ, Chelsea Denofa. Adam LZ will lead. He qualified 11th. Chelsea Denofa qualifying 27th. All RTR, ready to rock. Here comes Adam LZ. And the Mustang RTR, Spec 550, both these guys on Nitto tires. Big initiation from Adam LZ. Chelsea Denofa dropping into formation. Now to that, we got rubber on rubber, Nitto on Nitto crime. And Chelsea Denofa looks like maybe too aggressive, maybe taking himself out. Go past that inside clip, now pass and into that final outside zone. Ryan, a big disruption of that Pennzoil Mustang of Chelsea Denofa. Let's run it back and take another gander.
Yeah, he certainly got a bit over aggressive there against LZ, but you got to give it up to the driver of Chelsea Denofa. I mean, that was an incredible save. Huge angle in the chase position, chasing down Adam LZ, who's been really good this event. LZ falls out of that outside zone. Denofa makes that adjustment, is right back in proximity here. Good transition back around by both drivers. Here comes Denofa again, and LZ just on the inside and then moving to the deeper part of that zone towards the latter part of the run. And now we will see things switched up. You can see a lot of drivers would make that contact and unwind it to the point where the mistake would be so big to overcome. Denofa just has that ability to be able to manipulate the car in such a way that even a mistake or an over-aggressiveness, he can save it and still make it look good. And in the eyes of the judges, I think that that's going to bode well. But it's only half of the battle that needs to be done now. Now we got to switch it up, go to the lead, and LZ is going to have to keep the pressure on.
You know, Chelsea has a lot more seat time behind the wheel of the Ford Mustang, as has been with the RTR team. A little bit longer, but Adam, here at this event, don't know if it's the Sally's of Pete's or what it is, but seems that he is hitting his stride here in New Jersey. Remember, he's running a split season. Adam LZ, the RTR Mustang, the all-new 2024. Again, the Spec 3 being debuted for the street car. Shout out to Von Gittin Jr. I know he's watching at home. Here we go. Chelsea Denofa will lead. Adam LZ giving chase. I'm expecting a big initiation here from Chelsea Denofa. And there it is. Gets all of the course. Adam LZ, straight line approach. Here comes Adam and Chelsea into that second outside zone. You can see filling all of it. Adam LZ trying to bang on the door. Whoa, gets out, exceeds the track line. And now to that final outside zone.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, so look at that. I mean, losing back bumpers. I know Chelsea is bumper budgets out the window and out the doors, but let's take an overhead view. Adam LZ, how far did he exceed on that second outside zone in the chase?
I mean, what stood out to me there was just the precision and location of Denofa in outside zone 1. I mean, right in and locked in. But he gets into outside zone 2 a little bit late, a little bit shallow, makes that adjustment. Here comes LZ, but as you said, Jared, he drops those wheels off the course, loses a little bit of ground to Denofa. Now on this final turn here, he starts surging back ahead, but Denofa clears the finish line. And once again, we see that really good car control from Denofa out front and outside zone 1. Had he been able to do that in outside zone 2, I think it's kind of a no-brainer. But then we see LZ make a little bit of a mistake by pushing too hard, going wide at the end of outside zone 2 and giving a little bit back to Chelsea Denofa.
You know, we didn't know what to expect here, the RTR battle between Denofa and LZ. Adam LZ, not gunning for a championship because obviously, with him only running 4 rounds, he is down there in 31st. Chelsea Denofa second in points. So you got to think, no team orders here. You want to win right. But which way is he going to go? Left for Adam LZ or right for Chelsea Denofa?
Oh,
Adam
wow.
LZ gets the victory. So one more time, So it looks like
We've been knocked out in top 32, so we'll see. Now the battle begins again.
here we go. Odi Bakchis, Simon Olsen. Odi and Simon, almost simultaneous initiation in that first outside zone. There goes Odi Bakchis. See how they handle into that big 180-degree outside zone 2. Odi Bakchis, big angle there. Simon Olsen, great proximity. And you can see that. Look at Simon Olsen. Is he going to take out the boss? Past that inside clip into that final outside zone. Odi Bakchis, you can see his eye on the prize. Look at him just looking out that window. Really good composure. Hey, hats off to Simon Olsen. That was really, really good chase by Olsen.
Yeah, it was amazing run, amazing lead run by Odi, and also great job from Simon. So yeah, I think so far it's impossible to see who's going to take it out and who's going to be victorious. So yeah, I can't wait for a second run.
You can see Odi Bakchis just a little bit deeper. Simon Olsen flirting with the edge. He had good proximity. Would like him to drop back in the pocket a little bit. I think that would favor him really well. Again, really good proximity, but you can see just maybe a little bit deeper. And, you know, yeah, like the proximity overall.
Yeah, overall I think it was a really clean battle. And it's as I said, it's hard to put the advantage on one on the other side.
The Lithuanian flag waving there for Odi Bakchis. And Simon Olsen flying the Norwegian flag on. See the antenna on the roof of his S chassis. Here we go, field suspension, pedal commander, Vortex supercharged LS. Olsen out front. Let's see how it initiates. Odi Bakchis, he obviously knows what these vehicles are capable of. Now transitioning into that second outside zone. Odi Bakchis, look at that. He's saying, hey, Simon, I built this car. I can crash this thing if I wanted to. I'll fix it. So coming now into that final outside zone. Some separation there between Olsen and Odi. Now Odi comes up short on that final outside zone. That was a very uncharacteristic line by Odi Bakchis. That was surprising. Didn't expect that from Odi in the chase.
Yeah. Drifting is, you know, you still needs to be really good till the finish line. So I think this last corner may be a decider, but it's hard to tell, honestly. Judges will have the hard job to do and deciding who's going to be advancing to the top 4 already.
So you can see how Odi, that's what I was talking about. See how Odi's really mimicking. He's behind that front wheel, and that's just in the pocket. But here, he ends up coming up short. He does get out to that outside zone, but a little bit later on that outside zone 3. But I liked, again, outside zone 1 and 2 for Odi in that chase position. Good proximity and also deeper in that pocket. This is tough, man. The vehicle builds. How do the vehicle builds, for those that aren't watching Drift Masters, how do the vehicle builds around the world compared to FD? Pretty comparable, pretty similar?
Very similar. I think the overall regulations are very similar in FD and Drift Masters. So in that case, both leagues are very comparable.
Awesome. All right, let's see if we get a verdict here between Simon Olsen and Odi Bakchis. Here's our BC Racing Go for Gold side-by-side. BC Racing, the official suspension of Formula Drift. So Simon Olsen chasing on the left, Odi Bakchis chasing on the right. Because I think both lead runs were strong. I think it's going to come down to that chase run. You can see Odi, again, back in that pocket. Simon Olsen does catch up. Little separation from both of them. And then that last outside zone 3, Simon Olsen a little bit short. It's a tough one to call, but you know,
I would say that there were mistakes on both sides, and honestly, I would love to see one more time.
Okay.
But there have been some mistakes, and I think if judges will decide which one was bigger, simply.
And there you go, seeing Odi and Simon giving each other thumbs up. Again, this is for bragging rights at the bar later, over at Sneaky Pete's here at E-Town. All right, slide him left for Odi, right for Olsen. And it looks like Odi gets one more time, and oh, look at that, split decision across the board. So
thank you, guys.
Yeah, there you go, Piotr. Looks like you get your Matfield, Borla exhaust, Heatwave, GT Radial, Lean Customs, Corvette into that first outside zone. Approaching that big second outside zone, big angle there from Matt Field. Rome Charpentier gets into the pocket. The garageistic BMW now coming into that first and only inside clip, transitioning into that final outside zone. Matt Field using all the course. Looks like Rome Charpentier coming up a little bit short. The sun is setting and the arena lights are coming on, Ryan. And also with the temperature changing, the track's going to change as well.
That is absolutely true, Jared, and we'll see the drivers make those adjustments. We had that qualifying session on Thursday where they were out in these conditions. And look at this right here. I mean, flawless execution from Matt Field and Rome Charpentier in both positions. Right there, though, Matt gets the better of outside zone 3, gets into the zone nice and early. Good angle there, holds it all the way through. And we saw a little bit of line cutting there from Rome to try to keep that proximity on. And that's been, you know, a major point of difference in some of these really close battles, is because the course has that simplicity to it. Little tiny degrees of mistakes are enough, or it seems to be enough, to get results. And there again, Rome on that last outside zone came up a little bit short, entered in that zone late. Matt Field out front now will switch things up as he'll go to the chase and Rome will go to the lead.
Some great insight there. Thank you, Ryan. Continuing on with this battle here in the Grade 8. Rome Charpentier, Matt Field. Again, Rome podiumed here last year. Can he do it again? Saw him on the box, and remember, it was Matt and Rome in Long Beach, right? So Rome is absolutely a fierce competitor. Talking about standings, Rome Charpentier currently 9th in points coming into this round of competition. Here comes the Garagistic BMW.
Oh boy.
V-Tour tires, and Matt Field, look at that. Like I said, the claws and the fangs are out. The beast from the bay shuts it down. And this is, that's an interesting turn of events. Looks like contact was made on the transition. We know Matt Field was gonna be aggressive. Let's see, let's take a look at it again here, Ryan.
Well, we've got ourselves an incomplete no matter what, and this is gonna be a deciding factor in the result. Or get ourselves re-queued here. You can see Rome going through the motions in his mind.
Yep.
The infamous
and
worldwide drift hand. Let's take a look at it. Rome initiates. Here comes Field. Looks like a little tap right there. And that may have been enough, Jared, to send Rome out of the drifting position. And if the judges see it that way, this is going to be, you know, a tough night here for Field. It did look like there was a bump in outside zone 1. Here it is again. This will get us pretty close. Surging forward. And well, I mean, right before there, it did look like there was a little bit of bump. From that angle, it didn't look like there was. So now the judges, of course, as they always do, and what is the crappiest part of this job, your hands are full, somebody's going to be mad.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you could see,
yeah.
oh, yeah, you could actually see the side skirt. If we roll it back there, guys, I think we can see the side skirt move. I think it was a little bit before that, or it may have been the reflection.
You know, it definitely did get disrupted. Yeah, okay. I saw it. And Ryan, I'm going to point this out real quick. Osbo, points leader, out in 32. Chelsea Denofa, out in our 16, right? Matt Field, he's potentially out. Chris Forsberg, who is 5th in points, he's out. James Deane is still in it, but he's in the 8. Dylan Hughes is out. I mean, Hurst is out. Bakchis, he's still fighting for it to maybe get in the Final Four, but Ryan Tuerck is still in. He's sitting 10th. So what's really interesting about this event is those that are in the hunt for a championship, again, yeah, we're only halfway through, but every round counts. You're kind of rooting for these underdogs, these dark horses that, you know, came out of nowhere. I mean, Rome is, you know, again, 2nd place. He's in the hunt for that championship. Rome is currently sitting 9th. But
watch the side skirt here. This is what I was looking for. Right there.
Yeah, you see it lift and bobble.
Yeah, so that was the part that I saw that is now confirmed for me. So the question is going to be whether or not that was the cause of Rome coming out of drift.
Oh boy, plot thickens, my friends. So taking a look here as Ryan is discussing with Robbie Nishida, one of the judges, Chris Yule and Brian Eggert. So taking a look here, Ryan, we got an update on the action. So you could see, again, Matt getting in the side of Rome, but Ryan.
Yeah, so it does look like they are going to give fault to Matt Field there, and so that's going to be an incomplete on Matt Field. However, and like some of the fans have called out in the chat, roam incompleted on outside zone 3, and so we'll go back and take a look at that now. What that essentially means is you got 2 incompletes. We'll compare the leads. If they think the leads are similar, then it will be a one more time. If somebody's got a better lead, then it will be a win for that particular person.
All right, so this is what you're talking about, Ryan, going into outside zone 3. So here's Matt leading, and you're saying that, and the judges are deducing the, oh my gosh,
I see right
holy
there.
cow,
Yeah, the understeer.
Yeah, we were, you know, the glitch happened real quick, and just focusing on Matt Field, that is a massive correction there by Rome Charpentier going into that final outside zone. So one more time, does somebody have an advantage? Lead versus lead, chase versus chase. There it is, one more time.
Okay.
You know, I got to tell you, I think Matt Field got a bit of a break there after analyzing that first run, and glad they saw that big straighten going into that final outside zone. Matt Field got a large break, and maybe that's why he was so aggressive. His spotter probably saying, hey, you know, go for it, but I don't know, maybe not.
Well, this morning in the drivers' meeting, one of the things that the judges wanted to emphasize is what constitutes an incomplete in terms of loss of angle. And what they talked about was if you are at the neutral position, 0 angle, for more than a beat, definitely 2 beats, definitely 3 beats, that's going to constitute an incomplete. If the wheels ever go in the opposite drift direction, that is going to be an incomplete. And so we've seen from last night with Zendara to this case here, the judges being consistent with that application.
Yeah, we used to, even back in the day, you know, when your wheels were back to center, or if they were kind of in line and not drifting, we used to call that an incomplete, and that's not, you know.
Well, we used to go way more hardcore.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is, you know, we were within the spirit of it. We're not beholden to, all right, they're at 0. As you said, I like the concept of a beat. You know, what 1, 2. You know, I mean, just like.
It is drifting.
It's very situational.
Well, we used to be so strict on that application.
They're straight,
back in the day, and I think it caused a lot of angst amongst us and also the drivers because the run might have been great otherwise.
Good battle here, Ryan Tuerck versus James Deane. Those sparks just keep flying on James Deane, snapping it into that first outside zone. Ryan Tuerck, that Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla. Whoa, buddy. Looking more rallycross than drifting as that Rain-X Toyota Corolla. Some more sparks off of James Deane's AutoZone Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD, and then past that finish line. So Ryan Tuerck exceeding that line and exceeding the course, getting into the dirt. The car really disrupted, but let's take a look.
Sparks flying there from James Deane. Does a great job trying to mimic Ryan Tuerck, flying through the course. Great transition. I love the way they got to right to angle, but right there you can see a big right rear tire drop, and the left sitting on the outside part of that line. He's able to get back in the mix here. James Deane, however, though, is not able to be shaken at all. Keeps the pressure on pretty much through the entirety of the course. So what you've got from James Deane, you've got really good proximity, and you've also got the duration. There's not a surging attack there. And there you can see the 2 tire drops from Ryan Tuerck, the right rear being the most significant. And James Deane, unfazed, does a great job in adjusting on that last part of the zone to mimic the line and angle of Ryan Tuerck.
Yeah, the rock star pilot that is Ryan Tuerck. I mean, he digs in that back right, that big wheel. Fortunately, his back left did stay on that track line. So, but just maintaining angle and powering through. Hop, skip, and a jump over what used to be the drag strip here at E-Town, the purpose-built drift course. Ryan Tuerck will be chasing down the 3-time champ. Ryan Tuerck, he wants this. You know, I know, you know, Rockstar's pulling for him. His Rockstar teammate out in 32, Frederick Osbo. Ryan Tuerck, again, currently 10th in points coming into this round of competition. He wants this. E-Town, essentially his home track. So here we go. James Deane out front, that AutoZone RTR Spec 5 FD. The 3-time champ, the machine, goes into that first outside zone, fills all of it. Ryan Tuerck, good composure, nasty snap as Ryan Tuerck goes wheel to wheel. They bang doors, they bang back wheels into that final outside zone. How are they going to handle? How are they going to manage? Transition in, outside zone 3, James Deane and Ryan Tuerck. Oh, and looks like James Deane, was there contact there, or James just loop it? Holy cow, yeah, look at that. That bumper falling off.
Such a risky move
Yeah, it
there
looks
from
like Tuerck
Ryan
hit him.
Tuerck in outside zone 2, surging to the attack, and very similar to Denofa when he surged, was able to save it, make it look good. But towards the end of the run, it does look like Tuerck hit James Deane and spun him out across the finish line. Now, that is something that I think the judges will look at differently than a driver independently spinning out across the finish line and losing control. But right here, you can see that aggressive attack. Tuerck makes that adjustment, gets back in it. I mean, this proximity is absolutely amazing. And right here, it's going to hurt him a little bit. He's going to tap the right front of Deane and spin him out. Now, I don't know if the judges are going to say that that is of the level of an incomplete, because usually that rule is specifically for individual drivers when they are in control of their own vehicle. When a driver spins out another driver across the finish line, I don't know if it's going to be looked at as a serious mistake or if it's going to be looked at as an incomplete.
Yeah, I don't see it being an incomplete. You know, I think James Deane's vehicle was affected. I mean, kudos to him. He took a big hit, that back left wheel of James Deane, and Tuerck knew he had to really apply the pressure. He knows that, he said it, I'm an 8 out of 10 with this car in only 4 rounds. And he knows his driving prowess. And I mean, you can see the car get disrupted even on that left side. You saw the suspension get jarred. So I have to assume they're going to, you know, with every action is a reaction. And I think the action was Ryan Tuerck hitting James Deane. The reaction was him spinning out. I don't think that will be an incomplete for James Deane. So Ryan Tuerck, the Lone Star rock star, it looks like he is knocked out. His night is done. James Deane in the lead into that first outside zone. A lot of handbrake being pulled there by Bakchis. Simon Olsen hanging out in the shadow. Simon now surges forward. Some good driving here. Again, identical setups, you know, the S chassis, supercharged LS into that final outside zone. Odie just right on that line. Could be slightly deeper, but I mean, really, really good textbook lead run.
Yeah, and another strong performance there from Olsen as well. I mean, we've just been seeing this from him all year long, and it continues to progress. You can see he's a little bit on the inside of outside zone 1, and also here on outside zone 2. He does make that adjustment, surges forward there, keeping that proximity nice and close, but looking for that mimicking effect. Try and follow Odie wherever he goes and do what he does in matching and mimicking his vehicle. So switching things up now, as we'll see Olsen go to the lead and Odie chase him down.
All right, Simon Olsen now leading. Odie Bakchis, the boss, he's prepped the cars. I know Simon Olsen enjoying the momentum he's captured. He's been campaigning Supra for a couple years, and there's James Deane reviewing the tail of the tape. James inside the cockpit, taking a look. His Tuerck battle, seeing what's going on. James Deane still in the cockpit of his car. It's still up in the air who he's going to go against. Joao Barion, I believe this is his furthest finish right now, but it's still not over. He's going against Adam LZ, so James Deane could meet Adam LZ in the final 4. Simon Olsen will lead. Odie Bakchis give a chase. Here comes Simon Olsen out of the gate into that outside zone. Look at that, tapping the wall. Goes Simon Olsen. Odie Bakchis transitions into that second outside zone. Good proximity. Again, dropping in that pocket. That's what I was talking about. I really love the way Odie, that's why I say he's one of the best chase drivers. He gets really deep and he mimics that angle so well. He could just really massage that S chassis and get it right simultaneously, just in sync, man.
It's definitely a thing of beauty between these two guys. Odie certainly has managed his team well, prepared 2 amazing vehicles. You can see he's a little bit tighter on the inside there. We see quite a few drivers in their chase. When they get in that position, they stay a little bit further on the inside than the judges would probably like to see. It would be better to almost have them come back a little bit further, keep that proximity on. and try to go for that full mimicking effect. But now we've got both runs in the books. As you can see right there, Odie comes out of that outside zone towards the end, makes that adjustment, but still surging on a slightly tighter line, almost making contact. I mean, such precise driving there. And, you know, this is total nitpicking, but as we look into the combination of both these runs, is there enough there for the judges to say driver A, driver B?
Again, this is the second one more time between Olsen and Bakchis. Do we have a victor? Who's moving on to the final four? Slide him left for Bakchis, right for Simon Olsen. Simon Olsen gets 1 vote, 2 votes, and Simon Olsen takes out the boss. Simon Olsen takes out Odie Bakchis, the Norwegian. Against Simon Olsen. The lights are on. The vehicles under the vehicles and on the track. Let's line them up, boys. You can see the telemetry as Rome Charpentier initiates a little bit of the red light into that first outside zone. It looked like Rome came up just a bit short, exited out of that outside zone 1, now into outside zone 2. Good angle from Rome and Matt Field mimicking it. Looks like not going the way of bashing doors, but just keeping that composure, dialing it back a little bit. Rome Charpentier now counters past that finish line. So some good runs by both of the drivers. Ryan, taking a look at this again. Rome out front.
Yeah, you really have to have the thoughtfulness of the approach in the second run, whether you're in the lead or the chase, of what do I need to do in order to get the win here. And right there, Field is keeping an incredible degree of proximity while matching the line and angle. However, in that last outside zone, he falls short. Doesn't fill the zone pretty much at all. And, you know, that's going to be taken into consideration as they look at both the lead runs and the chase runs. Who did better overall, and can they find a victor? This is probably Field's best part of the run right here. Yeah. He's matching the angle, he's matching the line, he stays super close on proximity. And that is being allowed because Rome has pretty consistently performed in the lead run. He's given drivers in the chase the opportunity to attack. And so, yeah, this is something that we have in our rule book that talks about the different ways proximity can be achieved and the different angle and distances that the judges consider to be either similar across the board, and there's ideal, compromise, and poor.
All right, so Rome Charpentier still elated. Is he in it? Matt Field advancing on. Who's going against Simon Olsen? Slide him left for Field, right for RCP. And Matt Field, the beast from the Bay, advances on.
Had that breakout event last year, got a Final Four, and I know that really re-inspired him to come back and to do what he's doing this year. I know it'd be a great thing for him to get on the podium here tonight.
Adam LZ, the RTR Spec 5FD, Joao Barion chasing him down. Here comes Adam LZ in that first outside zone. Comes up a little bit short, looks like the Nitto tires grip up. Joao Barion, he comes out of angle and straightens out. He does take a beeline towards the side of Adam LZ, and now seems that he has found that angle and that proximity past that inside clip into that final outside zone. Here goes Adam LZ filling it. Joao Barion.
That was a great approach.
Yeah, really good approach on that last outside zone. Let's take a look at our eye in the sky here.
The judges really do like to reward when you're coming from one zone to the next and you're transitioning that rate to angle and holding it consistently. Here you see Adam LZ pretty much in the deepest part of the zone at the beginning, but then starts to fall down towards the end. You see Joao keeping the pressure on, but he comes up a little bit shallow there on that last zone as Adam makes that really great transition. Going back to the beginning of the run, we see right there LZ flying through that section of the course, now moving back around, and it gives you an idea of just how close these drivers were for the duration of this run, coming through the smoke line. And there's LZ locking it in, keeping those rears right in that outside zone.
All right, Joao Barion, he's going to get the clean air, and the Barbarius Monster Energy Corvette from Brazil. Adam LZ, originally from Connecticut. Like I said, a little bit of Sally's the pizza. Maybe that brought him a little bit of good luck. My man Chris brought a bunch of them here for him to chomp on. So let's see what we got here. Joao Barion Initiating in that first outside zone. There's some sparks from Adam LZ. Seems like the RTR throwing some sparks. 4th of July just around the corner, and Adam LZ looks like he massages it in. And good proximity deep in that second outside zone. Joao Barion, both them past that inside clip. Big flick from Joao Barion. Here comes Adam LZ, tucked in, buried, and bathing in smoke is Adam LZ. How he saw through that, man, he's got night vision courtesy of Blake Olsen. That was insane.
Well, you can see the fans certainly appreciating what's going on there on course from both of these drivers, pushing the limits and the pace of the vehicles. Here we go, Joao really gets a really fast start, pulled out of the zone a little bit quick. Adam had to make that adjustment. He's on a little bit of a tighter line, but then he adjusts, gets back on the appropriate line, keeps the pressure on, right on the back wheels as Joao hits that inside clip. Snappy transition, but enters it on a shallower line, and LZ angles up towards the end there for one little exclamation point towards the end. Those transitions trying to be matched, trying to get in the pocket, take advantage of the door that's open. And you can see Joao super tight on that inside clip. Now LZ through the smoke line, and right here, there's just gonna be an angling effect through the finish line. Good run by both drivers. Very exciting there as the smoke now lingering here in the night in New Jersey.
Wow, yeah, look at that. So, yeah, the flags are still, so the smoke lingers here in the Crazy 8 Smoke Bowl of E-Town. The RTR Mustang. You know who's pumped right now? Von Gittin Jr. The Type S lights are on. The RTR ready to rock. What do you guys think? Did LZ get the win? Is LZ moving on? What do you guys think? Is Joao Barion from Brazil gonna get the win? What does the internet think here, Ryan? Taking a look. Yeah, and again, Adam LZ has a wild fan base. Some people are saying bye, Adam. Some people are saying hi, Adam. All right, so let's take a look at the BC Racing Go for Gold side by side. Shout out Cody Slack, taking a look. Go for Gold, BC Racing, the official suspension of Formula Drift. You can see Adam LZ on the left leading. Pretty decent by both the drivers in the chase position, past the inside clip. That final outside zone, good flick by Joao. Man, yeah, Joao on that chase. So quickly, you know, oh, look at this. He's ready for the final four. Matt Field getting in the zone. So again, Adam LZ, one of the most popular drivers in Formula Drift. It's quickly saying 76. You wonder if it's just obviously the popularity. You know, he's got a lot of followers. He makes a lot of YouTube content. And there it is. Adam LZ gets the win. He's going to the Final Four in the Type S. Final Four, Type S. You see the lights underneath. We have special pricing on Type S goods here on site. So be sure to go by the booth at future rounds of competition. And here we are. There is the glow of the Borla exhaust, Heat Wave, Lean Customs, Corvette. Ford Star standing out. That's a good indicator of minimal or no corrections. Those big, bright white wheels. And here we go. White wheels on Simon Olsen's vehicle as well. Into that first outside zone. Look at Matt Field flirting with that wall. Simon Olsen tucks in. Has to back off a little bit to allow him to pass into that second outside zone. Almost dipping some of that GT radial tire. Both these guys on GT radials past that inside clip. Good transition. Look at Simon Olsen, tit for tat, into that last outside zone. Look at Matt Field. Simon Olsen is a tear right now. Simon Olsen, wow.
He's so close, he can taste it. He is one step away from a podium, but he needs to get through Matt Field. Field initiates right up against the wall, fills that outside zone. Olsen backs off, surges forward. Great job in the mimicking effect right here. Amazing to stay that close to Matt Field through that inside clip number one. Now back around Field into the deepest part of the zone. Olsen not letting him get away. Keeps the pressure on.
That was so solid. I mean, this is some of the best chase runs I've seen from Simon Olsen. And again, this is just the fourth event in this chassis, and you just gotta love these S chassis. You know, I mean, I figure 95. I mean, how old is this car? I figure almost 30-year-old chassis. and it's still competitive. I mean, just the aftermarket readily available, the horsepower, the supercharged LS. You know, the Corvette also, you know, don't knock that out. Here's Matt Field, who's just hitting strides. You know, when this car was debuted, he had some gremlins, but the car is working really, really well. I'm expecting Matt Field to be aggressive. You know, saw him in practice.
He needs to.
He needs to be aggressive. Yeah. You know, I recommend he don't bang doors, don't grind, but be consistent. You know what I mean? Well, I'm
You're
just
100% right.
Right? So here we go. Simon Olsen initiates in that first outside zone, right on the line. Here goes Matt Field transitioning in. Simon Olsen going for his first podium, and here we go. Matt Field transitions. Look at that. So again, that's good composure. Don't bang doors. It's going to disrupt your car and Simon Olsen. Keep it clean. Let's see a clear fight. Nope, nothing below the belt. And there we go.
Good.
Great run by both these drivers. Make some noise. Really good, well done. That was a solid boxing match, just kind of jab, forward, punch, blast, right? No big uppercuts, no body blows. Like I said, all right, guys, let's keep it clean. Nothing below the belt. That's exactly what they did. They delivered good, clean, solid battle.
Yeah, at this level, it really comes down to these very minute things. You see on the crossover there, Field starts to move into the zone with Olsen to keep that proximity on, but he was outside the zone at the beginning. Olsen just grazes that inside clip, but perfect otherwise. And then Field again, that left front, maybe 3 to 4 inches away from the door of Simon Olsen. Here it is again. Field right into the pocket, transitioning back around as Olsen. Olsen in the deeper part of the zone. Great job by him, making those adjustments over the bumps, coming through that inside clip. Very precise there, and Field tucks up on the inside, back in the pocket, and through the finish line we go from these two drivers.
Wow. Here we go for that side-by-side. Do we have a victor? I mean, really good driving. Taking a look at this again, the BC Racing side-by-side go for gold.
Yeah, I mean, man, this is a tough one here. Definitely Olsen looked like he got into the second outside zone in the chase a little bit earlier. Both drivers had insane proximity through that section of the course. Beautiful transition by Olsen to get right back in the pocket. Field maybe a little bit closer. This is the thing that you like to say about these runs, is the splitting of the hairs.
Hey, there's Olsen's camp cheering him on. All right, so again, wow.
How you doing?
Staying out of the smoke, man. This is where there's smoke, there's fire. Do we have a victor? Simon Olsen, there it is, the front end of that Field suspension vehicle. Hard shot Max, seen up close and personal. Slide him left for Field, right for Olsen, and we got one more time, and one more time, going at it again. And this is what Matt said. #1 qualifier, no one more times. That's what we're gunning for, but we're not getting that. Guess what? You're going one more time. So there it is. So one more time, but
look at the fans are split basically 50-50 down the line too. So there you go.
Yeah, the fans online, the chat room. Look at this. We got twin RTRs. Are you ready? Ready? Two. Rock, 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 rock. Here we go. Adam LZ and James the Machine Deane. There's the stats, there's the numbers. 1,111 horsepower in this corner, coming to us from Ireland. The big 6'7" foot tall James Deane, Adam LZ from Connecticut. Again, we are going to see another RTR podium. Will it be first? Will it be second? We know at minimum they're going to be one is going to be second place. That's just incredible.
Yeah.
You know, if you got team orders, LZ takes the hit, you know, because James Deane, again, 4th in points coming into this round.
Wow. You went there.
Of course I went there. I mean, everybody's thinking it. You know, I mean, we thought that with Von Gittin Jr. and Chelsea, and they got into it. So obviously there's no team orders.
No, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I've always known the teams to be like, look, best man wins.
Yep.
You know, and I think that's what will come out here.
Yeah, I have to think that's the way it's going to go. And the way both are driving, it's a coin toss. I really think that LZ could take out James Deane. They know each other's machine. They know what each other are capable of. This is going to be exciting to watch. James Deane out front. Adam LZ, again, James Deane, 3-time champion, 3 years in a row. We haven't seen it for a few years, and now here he is. Big initiation, nasty initiation in that auto zone. Mustang RTR. Now to that second outside zone. Adam LZ throws some spark. He drops into formation. Big, massive angle. Looks like Adam LZ grips up a little bit, but then he yanks on the handbrake, allowing the car to slide back in outside zone 2, past the inner clip into outside zone 3, and you see James getting all the way out there. LZ a little bit choppy in outside zone 2 and 3. Found the sweet spot, but it took a little bit of time, a little bit of massaging, kind of that little shiatsu massage.
Well, I think this is one of those runs where you would agree that it's pretty clear if you're a spotter what you need to tell James and LZ to do on this second run. Right there is an opportunity for James to do better in the chase. And from the lead perspective, you could see that James was just on that second hash mark, could have got into that zone a little bit earlier, but overall, really, really solid there. And I mean, basically, you could just shortcut it and say, you pretty much need to have a 100-point qualifying run, and you pretty much need to be door-to-door, because that's how close these battles are. But there's enough, I think, mistakes from both sides for the drivers to be able to put together a quick strategy in this 15-second turnaround and go out there and attack.
Here's what's also interesting, fun fact. If Matt Field takes down Simon Olsen, we'll see 2 RTR cars on the podium, because LZ and James Deane both out-qualified Simon Olsen.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Making it real clear.
Yeah, that's what we do, man. We're trying to be concise, just everything's fine. I mean, this has just been one heck of an event, and you know what? Everybody's fighting for it. Everybody wants to win. That's going to be a restart. So the strobe lights go off. Adam LZ looks like might have rolled the light. So yeah, I mean, behind the scenes, we've seen a couple protests here and there. They, some, even before, right? I mean, how do we start the 16?
Yeah.
We had a rerun, right?
Yeah.
We had the second half of Denofa and Stuckey.
Yep.
Jonathan Cash, remember?
Yep.
DB the tire. Nope. Go throw him back out there. Now in 16, there's a lot of activity up here in the booth. Spotters coming over. Brian Lontaine was, let's just call it what it is, sitting on his hands the other day, but today his hands are all over the place, man. He has just been talking to a lot of spotters, a lot of insight, a lot of perspective.
This is certainly not a job that you want to have, all of us and the judges, and
if you have anxiety,
if you have some problems with stress.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Here we go. Adam LZ, James Deane, RTR. An RTR vehicle will win. Holy cow! Adam LZ with the nasty backwards entry. James Deane overcooks it. He goes way off course, re-enters the picture. Adam LZ with an insano entry. What the heck was that? Let's back it up and roll the tape. Adam LZ goes through this gangster-ass backwards entry, and James Deane overshoots it. Completely uncharacteristic. Sparks are flying. What were you saying about stress? Look at Adam. I mean, look at this guy. You can almost see the smirk underneath his helmet there. Look at the bumper trail. Look at the bumper hanging off. The right-hand drive, Ford Mustang.
All right, so huge initiation. That's 4 tires off for Deane there. So, but here's the thing. Our race control just tapped me on the shoulder and said, hold on a second. So I don't know what's going on with that, but if we're just looking at the run, Deane initiates and goes completely off course, and that would be an incomplete. Let's take a look at it again. He hits the wall, 1, 2, 3, 4. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, way off.
What happened?
All right, so again, Pat Gentili, he is up here in the booth. He's tapping the judges on the shoulder. Don't know exactly what happened, if it was track or what. I'm really wondering how James Deane went off course. I'm seeing the car get disrupted. Was there something on course? Might have hit something. Watch James Deane's front right wheel. You see it hop a little bit. I don't know if that was initiation or if there was something there. But again, crazy event. Adam LZ. So you see Adam initiate the sparks flying on that transition. Wow. Look at this turn of events. Adam LZ All right, so yeah, so again, we are analyzing what's going down. They're talking about obviously the debris that both Adam and James Deane brought onto the course. Still trying to analyze what went down. Maybe a cone was hit is what I'm hearing, and that might have been a restart by Adam LZ out front. But slide him left for James Deane, or right for Adam LZ, and here we go. It looks like moving on is Adam LZ. LZ gets the win. Line waiting for the verdict. And like I said, I think it's the Sally's of Pete's. Sally's Pizza that, again, Chris Kane brought a bunch of, and they've been heating them up in the pits. I'll tell you what, if that's the case, he's going to be flying some to whatever round Adam's got from here on out. Again, split. Again, Adam can't win the championship. He's only doing 4 rounds. So here we go. Who's going against Adam LZ in the finals? Is it Matt Field, the Beast from the Bay, and the Borla Corvette, or Simon Olsen, the Field Suspension S chassis? Matt Field transitions into that second outside zone. It looks like Simon Olsen gives him a little bit of room, but now he catches up. Look at that proximity, not mimicking exactly the angle that we saw earlier today. Takes and punches out that inside clip. Here comes Matt Field, getting all the way to the course's edge. Want to get that eye in the sky view. Again, by comparison to that first run, we know what he's capable of. We know what Matt's capable of. So like I said, let's keep it clean, boys. What do we got?
Well, Olsen has been consistent through this entire event in the chase and the lead, and it's really about finding that next level, that additional gear to get him past Matt Field. Right there is a good example of it, but he comes up a little bit tight on that inside clip, and on the transition here, he's back in the pocket, falls back for a second, but we are seeing so much proximity at this track that even when you have 5 feet of difference, you notice it because guys are surging so close. Right here, leaving outside zone 2. I mean, look at that. That is absurd. That is maybe 3 inches away with the front right. And knowing what your car can do, and also knowing all of the spatial elements around your car, how close I can get without hitting the guy in front of me, is absolutely incredible.
For the boys, here we go. So Simon Olsen will now lead Matt Field, the Beast from the Bay. So this should be a good one. So Simon Olsen will lead Matt Field, chasing him down. LZ waits in the wings. The RTR. Be interesting if RTR and Matt Field goes against each other. An All-American battle. I know there were some protests thrown out there a few rounds ago. So let's see what we got here. Simon Olsen leaving the start line through the chicane. Send it! Simon Olsen, Field Suspension S chassis. Matt Field, the white 4-star, standing out. You can see them through the smoke, now transitioning in. Simon Olsen, Matt Field, you can see him jumping to the side. A little bit of left foot break there from Simon Olsen. The fiberglass bouncing off the back of Simon Olsen. Matt Field drops back a little bit. What's going on here? Let's see if he can reap the reward. Simon Olsen fills all of that outside zone. Wow. An amazing run. I know they're watching back in Riverside. Steph, see you tomorrow. Tyson, love you. Zay and Dadex, thanks for watching. Let's go.
Well, another one that's going to be very deeply analyzed. Great job by Matt Field to scoot up there and get into the deeper part of the zone early against Simon. Simon right there, very consistent, smooth out front, dealing with the bumps, perfect on that inside clip. Good transition back around. Here comes Field, trying to tow up the rear end and close the door towards the finish line. But 2 good performances in back-to-back runs here by Field and Olsen.
You know, and this is the one more time battle. Look at that. You know, Simon Olsen going for a podium. He has podium before, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Or was that in Pro Spec? Wow. So again, if Field wins, James Deane gets 3rd. If Olsen wins, Matt Field gets 3rd. James Deane is out. But again, Adam LZ going against which driver? Who's going to the finals? Is it Matt Field or Simon Olsen? Left for Field, right for Olsen. Simon Olsen gets the win, is going to the finals. It is Olsen in the finals. The Norwegian flag is flying high right now. Look, if RTR wins, that's 3 in a row for Ready to Rock. RTR. Is Simon Olsen going to play spoiler alert? Well, again, LZ qualified 11th. Olsen qualified 24th. Adam LZ will lead. turn on your phone lights, light up the track here at E-Town. We are ready to send it. Making sure the lights are on the vehicles, and we are going to yell send it on 3 as loud as possible so everybody knows. E-Town knows how to party. Simon Olsen feels suspension. Norwegian pilot, Vortex Supercharged LS, thumbs up from our cameraman, the RTR Spec 5 FD on Nitto Tires, Drift HQ, NGK. We are ready to send it on 3. Let's yell send it as loud as possible. Light up the night with your phones. 1, 2, 3, send it! Here we go. Adam LZ, Simon Olsen in the finals. 1, making history. Oh, bow, 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 bow. Oh, man. Oh, there it is, rolling through the start. Did he hit a cone or he did hit a cone? So just to clarify, he hit a cone. He sent it too hard. He just oversent it. All right. 20 years, it all started, 2004 in Atlanta. Back to the start line, there is Olsen. LZ making his way back. A cone was hit. Strike 1. Again, this is the only stick and ball reference we got. 3 strikes and you're out.
It's got to be such a...
Yeah. It's like that automatic, you know, we got the VTEC. All right, let's see. I'll send it. Get those lights back out. Light it up. I know my man Lewis L2, he's taking the photos. And we are ready to send it once again. LZ will lead, making history. The LZ fanatics are going nuts on 3. 1, 2, 3, send it! Here we go. Who's gonna dress to, what the heck, 2 strikes? Oh, this would be amazing. That would only just be the icing on the crazy cake. The cream-filled cupcake that is Formula Drift New Jersey. So 2 strikes. Was that a cone or did he roll it now? So he jumped the light that time.
Oh my gosh.
We have only seen 2, count them 2, 3 strikes and you're out. Adam, please don't make this happen. Nerves? So again, 3 strikes and you're out. So the way you can get a strike is either you jump before the lights are extinguished or you hit a cone. Adam hit a cone to receive his first strike, back to the start line. That second strike was received because he rolled the light prior to it being extinguished. He has to wait for the lights to extinguish in order to leave the light. Let's get a clean start. Adam LZ, light up the night. And there we go. He ensures no cones. Let's make sure no cones are hit. Holy cow, he's flirting with that cone. Adam LZ, we got a clean start. Simon Olsen. Sparks are flying into that outside zone 1. Now passing into outside zone 2. Big angle from Adam LZ. Look at that, puts it right into the sweet spot. Simon Olsen tucks in, mimicking the angle, a little bit out of 10%, and then now into that last outside zone. Big, massive transition from LZ. Oh, doctor, look at that. But Simon Olsen right there, that was a nasty transition from Adam LZ. Past the in clip. Watch this again, Ryan. Just that attitude. He transitioned, transferred, and bingo bongo right on it.
That was probably the sickest part of the run for me. The first outside zone was pretty well executed, but he could have been deeper there. And you can see Olsen trying to take advantage of it. They're on the inside of that outside zone, but past the line. Now watch this. Boom. Snaps to a huge angle right at the beginning of the zone. Fills it all the way. And again, we go back to this idea, this concept of understanding what you need to do on the second run, having evaluated what your competitor did. And I see opportunities for both drivers. You can see areas where LZ could have done a little bit better in the lead, and certainly Olsen in the chase. And those guys have to take that on board and go out and execute what their spotters are telling them.
Snapping necks and cashing checks. Adam LZ snapping transition into that last outside zone 3. The refinement can be done, like you said, on either side of it. Simon Olsen or Adam LZ. And again, refinement. I'm the cheese, you're the wine. I get stinky while you stay fine. You know, here we go. So again, who's going to refine it? And who is going to deliver? Olsen will now lead Adam LZ, giving chase at E-Town. The Crazy 8 track that I have just nicknamed it here this weekend is absolutely crazy. loco. Here we go. E-Town, Simon Olsen, Adam LZ. Let's see if we get a clean start. Yes, we do. Olsen, field suspension, S chassis, GT radial tires, the Nitto tire, Mustang. Adam LZ gets into formation, he drops that back bumper. Can he get that proximity back? Olsen, filling that second outside zone. Look at the power on depth from that RTR Mustang. Hobbs giving a jump to the side of the S chassis. Now transitioning past that inner clip into that last outside zone 3. LZ throws it in. A good transition. Ooh, it looked like he was almost gonna loop it in the chase position. Make some noise, New Jersey. If we have a winner, we'll bring them down. We know that third place is going to Matt Field. Again, Field, third place, we'll see him on the box. Ryan?
So much tension in the building. Both drivers going super deep into outside zone 1 at the beginning, tapping the wall. Now you see LZ starting to attack. He's trying to maintain proximity with the right line and angle. But Olsen out front, very stable, concentrated. Does a great job executing this final outside zone. Falls right into line. He's been super consistent all night long. It's paid off for him. He's in the finals against Adam LZ. The odd couple here tonight. These guys battling it out, dealing with the bumps, coming across the center section. And you can see driving through the smoke line, bumper not intact. Huge angle from LZ as he tries to close a door on that last bit of 60 feet of real estate to cross the finish line.
All right, analyzing it even further with a fine-tooth comb. The BC Racing side-by-side. Look at, oh my gosh.
Adam gapped him a little bit at the beginning of the run on his lead. And then you see Olsen coming back. Olsen gets a little separation on the inside clip 1. LZ closes the door. LZ almost, I would say, perfect job in the lead on that last outside zone. Tough call here for the judges, for sure.
This is how it's been, and this is what we came to expect and come to expect when we come to E-Town. With just such an unassuming track, no banks, mom is looking on, family looking on, Olsen fans cheering him on. Do we have a winner? After just such a crazy, congratulations to Cole Robbins, who got the win last night, 19 years old. He gets the victory. Cole Richards, thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry about that, Cole Richards. So, Olsen or LZ, slide him left, slide him right. Let's go one more time. You're in charge of your own destiny. Here we go. The lights are on. The spotters over here are getting loud. Adam LZ, Simon Olsen, let's send it. A one more time battle. Adam LZ leaves the start line, and a cone was hit. Gosh darn it. Jeez Louise. Just pedal it through the start chicane, Adam. A cone was hit.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Oh boy. You only get 8 shots. So you got 2 strikes on the first. Got a strike now. This is the one more time battle. Yo, what do you guys think? You guys are on the big screen there, homeboys. You got VIP passes, they're coming out. Yo, that's you, dog. Yo, look at us. Whoop, whoop. Yo, let's go. Let's go. That's what kids say these days, right? Let's go.
Yeah, it is. It's big.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
I've actually kind of got addicted to it too.
Yeah. Well, let's go. All right, we are about to send it. Adam, don't roll the light. Don't hit a cone. Let's get a clean start. Soap on a rope, but keep it clean. Send it. Adam LZ, the RTR Mustang, Spec 5FD. We got a clean start. Simon Olsen shoots down into that first outside zone. Big, nasty entry by Adam LZ. Simon Olsen getting buried in the smoke into that second outside zone. Adam LZ feels all the Nitto tire smoke in his face. Simon Olsen diving in good proximity, not mimicking the exact angle now in that final. There's that snappy transition, sends it into that final outside zone. Adam LZ counters across the finish line. A good, clean run. Let's take a look at it again, Ryan. I like what you say about opportunity.
Both drivers are definitely locked in, but LZ has been managing that initiation better than I've seen a lot of drivers here tonight. It's a huge, snappy initiation rate to angle. On the outside zone 2, he comes out a little bit early. That allows Olsen to take advantage of it. Great rate to angle on the transition back around. Olsen a little bit tighter on the inside. So once again, very similar story to the first time around. There are areas where either driver can take advantage, especially outside zone 2. I think in the chase position, we could see LZ try to go a little bit deeper, and we can also see Simon go deeper in the lead. So we'll switch things up as now Adam LZ will chase down Olsen.
Olsen will lead, LZ chasing him down. GT Radial, Nitto Tire, Field Suspension, BC Racing. The LS Supercharged Powered S chassis. Is this it? Are they going one more time? I'm gonna make a prediction. It's gonna come down to that third outside zone. Who has that? Who has it dialed? If LZ nails that chase in the third outside zone, I think it's going to be his, but Simon Olsen, he's going to push back. Simon Olsen, good initiation by him. First zone into second outside zone. Adam LZ drops into formation, very similar, but look, he is mimicking the angle right there. He finds himself deep in the pocket. How are they going to handle this last outside zone? I'm telling you, this is going to be telltale sign. Who dials it in? And look at that, he goes deep into that outside zone. Both the drivers into that third outside zone. That's the exclamation point. That is your last impression on the judges. Good job by both these guys. Look at Simon. LZ very stoic, collecting his thoughts. Did it just happen? Again, if you're a fan, Ryan has said, and the drivers come up, slide them left or right, they're going to go one more time.
The judges certainly have so much responsibility in their hands, and they just are not compensated enough to take on this level of stress. Right there, Adam just absolutely dials it in, gets super close, doesn't make a huge mistake. We see a back and forth, tit-for-tat battle between these drivers. Both guys having opportunities to do better than their competitor in the previous runs. Does that make a difference? Does that surging attack make a difference for the judges? Do we get ourselves a result? Is there enough to justify a winner? That's the question that we have in front of us right now.
I have an answer for you.
Go ahead.
We got a winner.
All right.
We got a winner. Bring him on down. Again, hats off to Simon Olsen, his mom cheering him on. Bringing him down to the middle. Head on over there to the middle of the course. History is made here tonight between Olsen and LZ. Neither of these guys with a win.
They're going
Ron
crazy.
Bergenholtz is going nuts over there. Bergenholtz, Nitto Tires driver. He's been screaming like, I don't know, like a banshee. So, a lot of excitement here in the stands, online. Norwegian, the Viking energy, the Viking blood is strong. Hats off to Simon Olsen. Hats off to Adam LZ. Both these guys sending it. And now join him, third place, Matt Field. And here we are. All three of the drivers pulling up our podium finish. New Jersey, make some noise for all three of our drivers as they step outside of their vehicles. All, again, the pro spec drivers.
You already know what's up?
I know what's up.
All right.
Yep. Again, congratulations to Cole Richards last night for that victory. His first ever win in the Link Engine Management Pro Spec Championship. We're officially at the halfway point after this round for both the Link Engine Management Pro Spec and the Pro Championship. Join us at St. Louis, Seattle, Utah, and Irwindale. 4 more rounds left. High fives, hugs all around. Now let's announce our podium finishers here at round 4 of the round 4 of the Formula Jet Pro Championship, the Type S Gauntlet presented by AutoZone. Third place here at round 4 of the Formula Jet Pro Championship. Third place goes to Matt the Beast from the Bay Field. When I announce the winner, you'll know who gets second place. Here in New Jersey, E-Town, the Crazy 8, you can see again, both these guys making history First ever win for either of these drivers. Congratulations to the driver that was unanimously voted by our judges, Robin Ishida, Brian Eggert, Chris Yule, Ryan Lontaine. Again, 4 more rounds left. Matt Field won the first round. Vaughn Gittin Jr. won the second. Chelsea Denofa won in Orlando. And your winner here, for the first time ever, unanimously is Adam Elsie gets the win for the RTR Camp. 3 in a row for RTR. Simon Olsen gets second place in the field suspension S chassis.
The exuberation here in the tower.
The Nitto tires are loud. They are smoky, and Adam LZ makes history for himself. Again,
that's cool.
This is really cool. You know, Adam LZ, you know, from pro spec to now pro, jumping behind the wheel of a Mustang, it coming together for him. There's Chelsea Denofa again. And again, Simon Olsen, second place, the Norwegian flag. His mom's in the building. Some great driving collectively overall. A very treacherous, unique, wild event, Ryan. Again, hats off to Adam LZ, Simon Olsen, Matt Field in third. Pretty nuts.
It is absolutely insane. I cannot wait to hear what Lorette Nickel is going to ask our drivers. Is she down there right now?
Yeah, I see her right there. Lorette, down to you.
Guys, you can imagine the celebration down here is absolutely wild, and your teammates almost losing their voice, screaming for you as soon as you were announced the winner. I feel like as soon as Jared said your name, you just crossed your arms like you couldn't believe it. But Adam, you have been working so hard for this moment. You have been dreaming about it. How does the reality match up?
No, it's great. It definitely felt surreal, but for me, like the more I drive, the better I feel, and every battle, it just got more and more fun. And by the end, I'm like, man, let's go one more time. This is so good.
I love that. And you found so much consistency tonight. Is there something that you can attribute that to?
One thing that a couple people have commented on that I think helps a lot, I've been driving another car that like I have to drive flat out, and I've kind of taken that and done the same thing with this car, and it works real good. Real good. Adam
LZ, congratulations. His first ever win, making history. So happy for you. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner here, round number 4, Adam LZ.
Look at that. It seems like he's having fun, Ryan. That's what I really love about it. Adam LZ, smile on his face, his signature mustache. He's got his own signature Ford Performance hat. Vaughn Gittin Jr. is a leader, and I know Ron Bergenholtz from Nitto Tires. We're going to give out some trophies, but your closing thoughts. Again, Adam LZ making history. Simon Olsen second. Matt Field shaking things up a little bit, you know, as far as the championship standings. What are your thoughts?
The first ever purpose-built drift course. These guys here at E-Town did a huge investment in pushing this sport forward, and we've gotten to see some incredible events over the years. And look at this, Simon Olsen jumps up into the top 5. It is going to be a crazy finish to the year. We're only halfway done as Matt Field retains his lead.
Not retains, he gains his lead. He got it over Osbo. Osbo goes down to third.
Gets his lead. Osbo moves down to third. And who knows what can happen for the rest of the year.
4 more rounds. We're only at the halfway point, right? It's not downhill from here. It's sideways from here. That's right, because anybody could win. 4 rounds, 4 different winners. Thank you to Kemp and the whole team. Thank you to our 4 judges who have had a very trying experience here. Not any fault of anybody, just a crazy round. We'll see you in St. Louis, July 13th and 15th. On behalf of Ryan Sage, again, congrats out there to all the drivers. Cole Robbins, again, getting his first victory. Congratulations to Adam LZ. Ryan Sage, thank you so much. And yeah, wow, unbelievable. Cole Richards, geez, again, I said it again. I'm exhausted. I need a beer.
Get out of here.
Let's get out of here. Cole Robbins, thank you so much. Jeez, I'm blowing it here. Yeah, Richard, whatever your name is anymore. I'm joking. My name is Jared Deane. There you go. Let's have some fun. We'll see you in St. Louis. We'll see you online, or we'll see you another time. Send it from the Gym Nation.